All right. Hello, everybody. It's Sabrina,
We back.
your host of About This Aging Thing. We are back. She literally made me feed her, y'all.
I had some gumbo.
I made
it was
it.
Delish.
It is quite delicious.
It was a small little container, but it was just enough. Okay.
Don't act like I didn't feed you enough.
You did.
She eats like a bird. So, here, a little bird.
It depends on what
I
the
measure
bird
her
is
portions in my hand like this. Here, look, a bird.
See.
And then we got what?
Again.
What you making?
I made a little sultry Georgia peach.
Mr. Angelo cocktail.
Oh, cheers.
Lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's refreshing.
All right, so thank you for taking that break so we can come back and and dive into that good.
All right, so we were talking about, letting go.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know when to let go? Why do you need to let go?
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to embark on a conversation about women. Don't get mad, because I know there are plenty of controlling men, but we're not talking about, well, you know what? Actually, we can talk about
We can do a little bit of both.
It don't even have to be gender-based, because it's more personality-based.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to keep that right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was about to start talking about the need to let go of controlling the person you're with.
Yes, and I said that's a whole nother show.
So here's my experience.
Go ahead.
The worst I've seen yet.
Okay.
A woman has a man, and she was doing everything. So basically, she was like telling him, like, this is what there's nothing wrong with saying what you need and how you need to be in a relationship, but I feel like it should be a dialogue, not a monologue. So like, she was like, this is in front of me, telling him like, no, this is what you need to do for me. And then telling me later, I guess also it's the way she was talking to him. And you could tell that she's controlling things. You could tell, I don't know, I haven't figured out yet if he concedes because his life has been upgraded because he's with her, or if it's because he's just that dude that don't feel like arguing, so I'm just gonna let you have your way. But she might give him enough wonderfulness that he puts up with it. I don't know, but the need to control another person absolutely is something that we have to let go. It's not going to last, and we've seen it time and time again with people. Now, when I was 29, that age sticks in my brain. I used to be controlling. I can say that out loud. I can say I used to be controlling because I've worked on it. Capricorns are innately. Most Capricorns are innately controlling, especially January Capricorns. And so I know that if I hadn't done the work, that I would be that chick to tell you how to do it, when to do it. Why can't you just do it this way? And my way is the only way. But now that I've done the work and the spiritual work and the spiritual grounding, I have no need to do those things anymore. I receive you and accept you the way you are. And then I decide if I like it or not. If I don't like it, I won't deal with it. I'm not going to not like it and try to change you because I don't like it.
Right, but you have a conversation though.
Absolutely. Okay. Probably multiple conversations as to like, that behavior doesn't work for me.
Right.
You make the choice. And if that behavior is who you are, then I have to make a choice. Yeah.
So I'm going to stir the pot and say that a lot of times when people are doing that, male or female, it's because they don't trust the other person. That person may have done something that they felt was detrimental. And they have a hard time trusting. When we try to control people, it's because we have a lack of trust. One of the reasons why. It could be maybe they messed up on something one time and you thought it was a huge deal, now they can't touch this anymore. Or we also think, well, you can't do it as good as I do it. That's that part of that control, right? You can't do it as good as I can do it, so I'm going to do it myself. Just don't worry about it. Just do what I tell you to do, right? And we don't realize that's control. We think we are doing it for the betterment of our families, which is 50-50, right? You're thinking, I see your process.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So just because somebody makes a mistake doesn't mean you got to take over and dictate everything. If the mistake is so huge that you feel that you need to take over, then that's a conversation y'all need to have and see what needs to be worked on so you don't have to take it over. Because this is towards my women, right? Is that we feel that we can fix everything. A lot of times, if we put our hands in it, we can fix it. And sometimes it's not that way. Sometimes it's helping, giving tools to fix it, but you have to give people the opportunity to fix it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to do if it's coming to household things. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So the advocate on that part, the devil's advocate on that part, is that a lot of times women do that because they don't trust that he's going to maybe pay the bills or handle the kids the right way, their perception of the right way. That's how that control sneaks in, because a lot of women don't even realize they are controlling, but they have controlling behaviors unless you bring it up, right? Mm-hmm. And then if they don't trust that person to make a decision, when that particular person goes to them and talks to them about it, it goes in one ear and out the other, because I don't trust you anyway. I don't trust your judgment. So how do you fix that behavior, my personal behavior, trying to make sure I make it work when it's not yours to make it work? You don't pick up that bag off the ground. And we have a tendency of doing that a lot. So how do you stop?
Mm.
Right.
And is that something that you have to make a decision as to that you're going to let go or not?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many times do you have to tell someone or be controlled? First of all, you need to deal with the controlling behavior. It's not attractive. It's not productive. There's nothing good about being controlling.
It's not.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know you're controlling, but some people might say, I'm controlling, but I get it done. Yes, you get it done, but you can be by yourself eventually, because that person is just not going to keep. Mm-mm. Or they might stay with you, but then you don't respect them. You can't not respect someone
or they
that you're constantly controlling.
Right. Or they checked out.
Right.
Or you belittling, right?
Right.
We have a tendency of going below the belt a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And like you said earlier, like somebody, they just take it because they don't feel like fighting, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. That's not healthy. Mm-hmm. It's not healthy at all, right? So learning to stop feeling that you have to be the one to manage everything is the first step, I think. Mm-hmm. If you're always exhausted, and feel like you don't have support from your partner, fade back and ask your partner how do they contribute, whatever the situation is. If it's raising the kids, if it's managing in a household, or whatever the situation may be, male or female, and then you can say, hey, I know this is what you do, but it would be great if we can support each other in this, because now we're in a time that, I don't know, maybe you got teenagers or young adults or whatever the situation may be, and mm-hmm. it gets tougher as it goes, mm-hmm. longer and longer, and the longer you don't share the load with your person, because your partner is your partner. They're not your child. They're not somebody for you to dictate. They're your partner. They have qualities that you don't have, and you mm-hmm. have qualities they don't have, and you're supposed to work together to make your life better, both of your lives better. And a lot of times, because we don't hear the answer we want to hear, we just take over as well.
And you were saying that sometimes it's about, so I know we're talking about letting go, but mm-hmm. like, I'm gonna go back to what you said just a minute ago. You said it's because they don't trust you. Mm-hmm. They may not trust you to pay the bill. Mm-hmm. But that's a conversation that should be had prior to. Absolutely. You should be having these conversations prior to.
Absolutely.
Just like a job. You have a conversation, you tell the person what the job description is before they take the job. Mm-hmm. You explain how to do it mm-hmm. before you take the job. And then if they don't do it, you check in. Mm-hmm. And you have these check-ins to talk about why it's not going. It's the same way a relationship kind of should be.
Right.
That communication piece has to be there.
Yeah. I think you should check in regardless if it's going good or bad. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times, once you get in that habit of just doing it when things are bad, mm-hmm. We tend to shy away and we cancel the sessions, or we cancel our get-together, because every time we get together, it's about something I'm doing wrong. So let's not just make it about doing something wrong, but about what's going good. Do those regular check-ins, because like you just said, at work you do check-ins. Sometimes mm-hmm. it's an annual performance, but typically, if you're a new employee, typically you check in the first 60 days or 90 days, then you check in 6 months, then you check in a year, or you have your weekly check-ins. Like how often are you guys checking in? Mm-hmm. Are you checking in about, what's great this week? Oh my God, I can't believe we got this done! Yay!
So what are they letting go?
Control.
Letting go of control. And those conversations have to be had in order to let go of control.
Right.
I got you. And
I'm going to stir the pot again, because I like stirring the pot.
Love stirring the pot.
It's that sultry Georgia peach, girl. The dynamics in relationships have changed because a lot of times women are making more money than their men.
Because we're more educated than everybody in the world.
Because we typically can go, we get funds, we get stuff, and people give us an opportunity.
Don't get me started on that.
So, but that changes the dynamics when most men base their worth on what they bring in a house.
Yes.
And women do that too. So when unconsciously women, and I'm talking to women, so everybody can get mad or whatever, but this is a real conversation, is that we bring that home and try to control our partner at the same time. So I'm the boss in this and the boss in that. I make more than you. You know, it's the flip side of when it was with women and being at home before, where I make more than you, so you need to listen to what I tell you to do. Mm-hmm. That happens a lot. You know, it could be just a life change, or maybe it's a job change, career change, or if you're an entrepreneur and, you know, you go through that period of not really making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if you're the female is the breadwinner, it causes tension because they don't talk about it. And it brings its own aches and pains with women being the head of the household when it's a male. They have a partner in the house, the opposite sex. I think it can happen with the same sex too, but I think that happens a lot. That's a huge piece I see sometimes, is where the female is making more money and she becomes resentful.
Or one of them is making more money.
Yeah, well, whoever's making more money.
The same sex or,
right.
Yeah.
It could be the male too, right? Because men have been, historically, have done that through the ages, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I bring home the bacon and whatever you cook it, whatever that commercial was back in the day when we were kids. So it's the same thing, but it doesn't matter if it's male or female who's making the most money. How you treat your partner when they're not bringing home the same income is a huge piece on letting go of control and respect. I mean, and then earning, keeping respect for your partner, because their jobs are just as important. If it's taking care of the house or the kids, or if they're working part-time or whatever it is just as important as you making the money. And we tend to, whoever makes the most money is the one that's in control. A lot of times in households, historically speaking. Mm-hmm. And that's something we have to change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all got that? I'm gonna change.
Switch it, girl.
I'm not stirring no pots.
I'm gonna stir pots. Pop that cherry.
I want to talk about letting go of giving up. Okay. I'm not gonna drop F-bombs because some of my students watch this show, and I want to keep that.
But they're adults.
I want to keep that pure and innocent. They think I'm pure and innocent. They think I'm demure. I'm just joking. I want to talk about letting go of giving. Now, you guys have heard me talk about a little bit about this before, but I'm gonna talk about this relationship wise. Mm-hmm. Some of us are so stuck on what it looks like.
Oh, say it again for the people in the back.
Some of us are so stuck on what it looks like for the people in the balcony. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, we would rather have a mediocre person in our lives who makes money. And I can speak to this because I just had an opportunity to be with somebody who was quite wealthy. Mm-hmm. But he's an ass. Mm-mm. It took me a minute. Mm-hmm. It took me 2 years.
This is confessions. I think we need to play Usher.
This is my confession. To let go completely of the fact that this person, this person is just not that great of a person. He's nice and he's personable and everybody loved him. And whenever I hung out with him, he treated me great. Mm-hmm. But there was the small things, the thoughtful things that weren't happening. Mm-hmm. And I realized, you don't think you got to do this because you got money. Mm-hmm. And most women are probably not requiring a lot of you. They're just happy to be with you. Mm-hmm. You're tall, good looking, money, blah, 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 blah.
And you do stuff. You do the
and when we go out, you do make me feel like, okay, whatever you want.
And that's something we don't always get.
And I like that. Mm-hmm. But I realized.
But on the flip side.
and I wasn't even looking for anything long term. I just wanted to hang out whenever I was in where they lived.
Right.
But I realized that even those small periods of time when I was just visiting, that I just don't like you.
Yeah. I don't like who you are.
Yeah, and I gotta let this go.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Let me go back. I want everybody to work on letting go of not caring. Now, we all say that freely. It's almost, it's on everywhere in social media, different ways with all the curse words and all that, which is fine. But the reality is, there are some good people out there right? Men, women, indifferent, who will treat you so well, but they don't fit what your friends think you should have or society thinks you should have. And so either you're going to let that go and be happy with someone that may not fit that societal picture, or you're not. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. The not giving a crap, right? Since we're not throwing F-bombs today.
I said I wasn't.
Oh, great.
I'm pure and demure. I'm pure and demure. You can say it if you want to.
I won't today. You know, I'm trying to be demure today.
I'm
trying to be demure. I don't want to start down that rabbit hole because people often, I'm going to use a personal example. People often tell me that I'm a free spirit. And I used to, like, what is a free spirit? So I'm going to ask you that question. What's a free spirit?
I feel like you are a free spirit. I feel like you dance to the tune that's in your head and your head only. I feel like you love people, but you love yourself, and it shows. Some people think being a free spirit means that you don't care about other things or other people. That's not true. You care about everything, but you don't. To me, you dance to the beat of your own drum.
Right. So I think
that's really the bottom line.
That's really what I think not giving a crap is just doing your thing, right? I never understood when people used to say that about me all the time. Like, well, you have to make a decision, right? But that's that Taurus thing. If we want to go to that Earth sign thing, is that I'm going to make a decision, regardless if it's positive or negative for other people. I'm going to take your feelings in consideration. I'm not going to dog you out unless, we go into blows or whatever. But you have to make a decision. And you said that, like, not giving a crap is really about making a decision for what your well-being is. And it's a very hard thing to do, not to give a crap. Because you are sensitive. You're going to cry, or you might get mad or whatever, and you mourn the loss of whatever that situation is, but you keep pushing forward because at the end of the day, you are all you have through life. The only thing that's constant since you've been born is that you've been there through all your shit. So you know better than anybody what you can and what you cannot do, what you can accept and what you cannot accept. You had the person that you saw, you like all the other things were good until you get to the core of that person. And it was like, dang.
I know.
Right.
I was mad.
I could buy convertibles for everybody. I just put that out there. I don't know. I just made that up, right?
Convertibles.
I can buy everybody whatever, right? Or
that was a hard one to let go.
Yeah, but it's you have to think about what your values are. And until you sit down and think about who you are and what your values are through life and through your journey, you have to say what your non-negotiables are. And my non-negotiables are this. So when you know your non-negotiables, you don't really care about what other people think, right? And you're making the best decision you can in that point. So, learning a little bit of a free spirit is really about, and not giving a crap is, nobody's coming to save you regardless of what decision you make. Sometimes somebody will, but the likelihood that you're going to have to save yourself, right? You're going to have to make a decision. If you're in a situation, you're going to have to make the best decision at that time out of all the outcomes. I think about Avengers and Infinity War and how, if you remember Doctor Strange on there, when it came to the end, he gave... I know, I'm a sci-fi person. We know this. It goes back to the makeup days. But anyway, he had to make a decision that was still a tough decision. He gave the guy all the rings, if you know anything about Marvel Comics or whatever. And Iron Man looked at him like, why did you do that? He said it was the only choice we had. And they had to go through some crazy stuff. Half the people disappeared, then they came back and all that kind of stuff. It was the only choice. He went through all the options, right? And that was the only choice. And sometimes you may lose in it. The immediate thing feels like a loss, but in the long run, it's a gain. So you have to keep that in your forefront when you don't give a crap, or you're thinking about not giving a crap. Just sometimes it's going to hurt a little bit. I'd rather have a flat tire than run off the bridge, right? If I can hit the median versus flipping over the car and killing somebody, then I'm going to hit you're going to hit that. It's defensive drive and living life where you can make a decision quickly.
And I think we are, it's innately ingrained in us to care about what people think. I've seen people not date someone who made them happy because their friends didn't think he was cute enough.
Facts.
Or because he made less than them. That's what triggered that when you said that. Facts. He made less than she did, and he couldn't, his appearance wasn't like that of what she felt like she wanted. It felt like something out of TV. She wanted somebody, that wore a suit every day to work and had a briefcase, and this brother didn't do that.
Absolutely.
But he treated her like a queen, and
Absolutely.
she misses him to this day. And she's with someone right now who is mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
She's not miserable, but it's not she knew what she had.
Right. When I left my second marriage, people thought that I was crazy because we had the picturesque relationship, right? But like, unless you live in that household, you don't know. And I got slack from family, parents, cousins, aunties, uncles, or whatever, right? Like, what did you do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What did I do? I'm standing in my truth. I don't deserve.
I didn't ask that, but go ahead.
No, you didn't, because you wouldn't be here today. But he's a good person, right? And everybody see how good we are as people. And we have good hearts, but why didn't y'all figure that out and make it work? I'm like, well, there's some things that non-negotiables in there. So it broke up some relationships, right? We didn't talk for years.
That's true. Yeah.
We didn't talk for years because how dare I in the relationship this picturesque, right? But I had to make a choice for me, right? And this is a non-negotiable for me, and I'm just not going to do that. Whatever the non-negotiable is,
right?
It doesn't always have to be cheating. It can be other things, and just really just doing your thing.
So letting go of caring about what people think, just letting go of just not giving up,
right? And letting go what you think, your perceptions too, right? Because we can talk ourselves into some things.
Yes, I'm good at that.
Yeah,
I'm good at talking myself out of something good.
That's facts. Not just you. I'm just.
I'm like, wait a damn minute.
We tend to talk ourselves out of
so
something
excited.
good. That's a really. We did a
pretty.
Thank you. Thank you. Springtime.
Nice. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Focus. We talk out. That's a really good thing. We talk ourselves out of good things because we have a fear of doing something different, and I think that's a huge point. Is the fear.
You really did something for me 2 weeks ago. You didn't even know it. You were just being you. But I'm struggling with some decisions, and this one right here said, "Do me a favor." Remember, you said, "Don't make a decision based on this." I can't tell you all my business.
Like I did.
You said, you said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but basically I was saying, I'm just going to do this until this time. Because I'm Capricorn, that's what we do. We regimented. I'm going to do it till this time. And then after I do it this time, when I get back.
Oh, I remember that.
When I get back, I'm going to tell them. And Angela's like, do me a favor. Don't do that. She said, don't put a time on it. Just go, have fun, see what happens. Don't already restrict yourself because of these things that look like barriers. They may not even be barriers. Just enjoy it until you can't anymore. Which is so funny because that's usually my motto. Like, I'm gonna do it till I don't want to do it no more. Do it till it don't feel good no more.
Nothing's forever.
Nothing is forever. Unfortunately,
it's not.
Unfortunately, so letting go of the need to even control that situation for me, like I had to, and I released it. I can't. Guess what? I thought about what you said the whole ride the next day. I could hear it in you. Heard you. Actually, and I was surprised that when I told my closest people what I was doing, you all were more supportive than I've ever seen. Well, not for you, but in general, because I'm just breaking all the rules right now.
Right. So that goes back to the rules, right? That goes back to the rules.
All of them.
You make your own rules, Yeah. I definitely
do that.
I date people, right? And I realized that one person that was like, well, why are you still hanging out with that person? I'm like, because we have a good time. But where you see yourself in 10 years? I said, I don't see myself in that space in 10 years, right? I'm just enjoying the moment at the time because who the hell knows? I might not even be here, So I'm enjoying the space. If it becomes a bad situation, I feel uncomfortable, then I remove myself from the situation. Or if I decide I want something else, then great, because I realized I was looking through somebody else's lenses, and their not agenda, but their idea of a happy life is being married with a house and everything. And that's a beautiful vision. I just don't see that vision for me right now. So why am I looking for a husband or a helpmate or a partner or partners, right? Because I talk about many different things. Why am I looking for that attribute in a person when I'm just trying to hang out with you? I'm sending two different signals.
Yeah.
We can
You're
respect each other, but I'm not trying to say I do and walk down the aisle with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not our end goal. Our
Mm-hmm.
end goal is to have a good time, and then when it fades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it changes into a heavier relationship, then we talk about a deeper relationship, not heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Then we talk about that. We move on from there. But seeing it from somebody, making my decisions on somebody else's perspective
Mm-hmm.
is what made me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Made me feel really bad, yeah.
And you just said something it's exactly what I was trying to articulate. It was like, I'm doing my thing, and then I let that societal judgments that we grew up with nag at me to where I start questioning, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And most of the time I can answer you, like you said. I can say, oh, because we have fun. We have a good time. We do the same thing every time I see this person.
It's constant. It's comfort.
But for me, I'd rather do something different.
Right.
But
I got you.
My point to that is we do the same thing every time, but we have a good time. And it's only a couple of times a month or so or whatever. Right. We just kind of hang out. Right. And then, but society in my head would be like, what you doing? Like, why are you doing that? I'm doing it because I'm having fun. And I got to let go of the need or the habit of worrying about, oh, but I'm supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
I'm supposed to want this. I'm not supposed to just have fun.
Right.
Where are we going? Where is it going? It's supposed to be going somewhere.
Right. We always think it's going somewhere.
It's supposed to be going somewhere, but that's because we've been barraged with with that note of
we have.
Yeah, we've been barraged with, as women especially, barraged with it's supposed to be going somewhere or you're wasting your time.
Right.
It is really that is true if you are looking for a husband, like you said.
Right.
But if you're not looking for a husband, then it's not true.
Correct.
So I challenge you all to let go of what society says you're supposed to be doing. Even, check this out, even if you want a husband and you're getting married, beautiful, like you said. Who says that the wedding has to be this way? Or you got to do this, have this many people? Or you got to do that? Like, who made these rules? And guess what? So my husband had passed away when we were getting married. He really wanted to get married. I did not. And he was like, we switched roles. He was like running everything. And I was like, just let me know what it be. I'll show up. I started looking up stuff because I was just curious because my brain, I was like, why do we do these things? Absolutely. Like, why do we do this? Why do we have bridesmaids? Why do we have who said that we had to have a rehearsal dinner and the parents had to pay? Who made this up? So I started researching and I was amazed at what I found and amazed that we followed that shit.
Yes, we do.
Without even questioning it.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're supposed to do. Who
Absolutely
made that the rule?
Absolutely.
I would challenge us to let go of all of that. Create your own traditions, your own ideas. And I know some people are like, I'm not creative. I'm just going to do what it says on the book.
And I got that. That's great too.
Right. Do that. But at least question, like, what you doing? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I was about to go to the left.
I
Sorry.
had a whole conversation with somebody asked me, do I want to get married again? And I was like, it's not in my thought process, but if it happens, it happens. It's cool. But, my things are going to probably be different. I might marry 3 people at the same time. You should have saw the conversations it took off or heard the conversations it took off from that. And I was like, you can't do that. I said, who said I can't? Right? And if you go back to different traditions and different African tribes, a lot of women had multiple
But you're not going to hear about that.
No, you're not. You're not. You're going to hear about the men having multiple
European
wives.
writing our history.
Right. But then we hear about men having multiple wives.
You're trying to give me riled up.
I know. So, but it was like a 2-hour conversation about that because I brought up the conversation. Well, I might, get married to 2 or 3 people the next time. Who knows? And they were just like, you can't do that. But yes, you can. It's a piece of paper in the U.S. and then we know. And
I always say you have to be married spiritually before you
absolutely
before you go to the courthouse.
Bingo.
And I just want to clarify something.
Yeah.
I said my husband wanted to get married and I didn't. I don't mean that I didn't love him and didn't want to be with him for the rest of my life. I just didn't understand why we had to go through that. But he really wanted to go through it. And so because I loved him, I went through it. Because it wasn't hurting me because I loved him. Because we were already married in our brain.
Right.
He wanted the tradition. Very much so. She enjoyed our wedding so much. They were like, who's getting married? He wanted the traditional of everything. And I respected what he wanted. I respected him. So I just did whatever he wanted because I wanted to be with him. But that wasn't the case. I loved him so much.
Right.
We're already married. But I just want to be clear on that, because somebody like, oh, you got married, you didn't want to, and you telling us to let go?
No.
Something different.
Right.
You
just didn't want all the extravagant stuff that comes along with those weddings. But it was a beautiful ceremony, though.
Thank you.
So then it's also about the ceremony versus the wedding. Like, what is the connection in the ceremony? But that's another story. So.
That's another. You can talk about that on the show.
Yeah. So what was the charge you gave people?
Letting go of giving up and doing it the way you want to do it, whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like. And when people ask you why you're doing it this way, just tell them go read the why that is even happening, and then they might not even come back to you because they don't even know. Most of us don't know why we do what we do.
Right, but if you do it, then understand why you're doing it. Right.
What it means. Understand why it means. What it means. I looked up why we carry flowers. It was very interesting.
You went down a rabbit hole.
I did. The reason that we carry flowers is because back in the day, the Europeans, they use it to cover smells because they only took a bath like once a month or whatever. And so they waited till the day of the wedding to take that bath. But they also, the maids may not have taken a bath, and other people in the room, or that, the servicemen that have taken a bath. So the flowers were very fragrant, and they were used to cover up the smells.
Our flowers aren't as fragrant as they used to be, are they?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Or maybe the flowers that we're smelling are not. Because I love honeysuckle. I know that grows wild.
Do you remember eating those when you were a kid?
Yeah, put it on your tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's enough of that. Anyway, so I charge you all to let go of everybody else's ideas of what things should be. I'm not just talking about marriage. I'm talking about in general. Dating. Absolutely. I'm talking about how you choose to live your life. If it's work, if it's changing something, following a hobby you love, if you can take care of yourself and handle your business, do your thing. Because life is, as we say, it goes by very quickly. It goes by very quickly. And you want to have, like, I did that. Whatever it is, I did that. And let go of the need to please. Let go of the need to please. People who love you and care about you, they're going to be with you whether they agree with you or not. And the people who don't kind of don't matter. Yeah, learn to agree to disagree. Yeah. And still have a healthy relationship or whatever the situation is. Yeah. That's what's up, girl. Let that stuff go. Let that shit go. Let that shit go. Thank you, guys. You want to have the last word? You said it all. There's nothing else I can say. Embrace who you are. We humans are given the option to. We have the ability to make choices. Embrace your ability to make choices. Yeah. I did say last word, but I do have a thought. I'm sorry. No, you got it. I was gonna say, I know everybody says let go and let God. If you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, I challenge you to practice it though. It takes practice. You don't just wake up one morning and decide you're gonna let go and let God. But it takes practice. And I really believe that once you've done it and you see how God moves, it gets easier every time to go. So I've been where it's really bad and then it got good, like everybody, right? And then it got really bad and I panicked. And then I had to remind myself, girl, don't do that. Exactly. God already showed you that he got you. It may not be when you want it to. And I know that's very cliche. I know it's a song, but it's really true. About this age and you just gotta be patient. Just gotta be patient, and you'll be able to let that go. Actively patient. Thank you. Yeah. We love you guys. Listen to Tambourine Lady. Tambourine. Thank you guys. That part. Talk to you soon. Oh, wait. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're at 99 people. What? And we've been trying to get to 100 since last year. 99 problems. 99. We're at 99 people. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow our Facebook page and Instagram page. And please like. And please share. Just one person. Just send it to one person. And the people that have been reaching out, thank you so much for reaching out with your comments and your stories. I truly appreciate you so much. Love you so. And we already got more questions for you. So that's coming. Because what's coming up next is my season. Okay. We'll do an Ask Mistress Angela in May because it's a national month of. We're gonna do it in April too. Why? April and May. Ask Mistress Angela? Yeah, why not? We'll see.
you want to hear it. Just say you want to hear it. Just text her, email her, instant inbox her, put it in the comments. Just say we want to ask Mrs. Angela and April.
Got it. Love you guys. Peace.